Coming up in this episode.
And considering what the studio looked like mere hours ago, it's fucking brilliant.
We're going deep today.
Yeah.
It's been away for a while, guys. It's oozing out.
His story is actually insane. Whole reason the whole Area 51 thing even blew up was because of Bob Lazar.
These haven't got feelings. These are just little...
These are little worms.
They are.
These are little Chris Watts.
There is just categorically no fucking way this technology is from this planet.
In 20 years, there's going to be AI almost 1 billion times more intelligent than we are, which is fucking insane.
The documentary ends and it's literally just like... And then I'm like, what the fuck did he just say?
Turns out he was the alien all along.
We are you from the future and we've come back to stop the Cold War.
Could Bob be talking absolute bollocks?
There is a chance.
He could, but... How are we doing? We're back. It's been a while, and well, there's no getting around it. We're in a new studio. There is a lot to talk about with regards to the studio, etc. Full disclosure, the Atma signs are in the post, but they will be with us very soon. We're in a pandemic ravaged world, so you know things are slower than they used to be, but we are getting there. But I think, we will start off with the new studio. The obvious thing, the elephant in the room. There's no more desks. How do we feel? How do we feel sat down, guys?
Now you've got that laptop there.
Yeah.
I feel like you would have
You could do a
better
desk.
use with a desk.
But I like it. I think it looks cool. It's called a laptop.
Yeah, it's not called a desktop.
That's it.
Got one of them and that's on the floor. So
Yeah.
I feel exposed.
yeah, I was going to say I feel
it's
exposed.
I feel a bit naked.
Yeah.
And also, quite a little tidbit for those at home. I know it kind of shocked the world when everyone found out that we weren't sat opposite each other. We were actually in an L shape. Well, now we are in either corner. We are sat opposite each other. So we are now staring into each other's eyes.
I like it.
This is intense.
Yeah, it's good.
This is going to be some intense conversations, I feel.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna
A lot of debate in
Yeah.
season 1.5.
Yeah, we can throw stuff over at each other.
Yeah. So should we just go through the studio to begin with? So we've got themes, haven't we? We've got themes. So we'll start with you guys. What theme have you gone for over there? What's going on?
I don't know.
Casting couch.
Yeah.
Orange. I think just orange and black is kind of the theme. We wanted
Orange-
kind of like living room vibes.
Orange is the new black.
Yeah, but
true.
there is actually some more news.
Oh.
Obviously in between us doing up the studio, there's the actual location of the studio
This is it.
That's it.
May change.
is
probably
I mean
will
it's
change.
it's probably going to change
Looking
again.
at
So we've
We're
kind
gonna
of
go
held
somewhere.
back a little bit.
This is it.
This is what we want to explain. So that's why this is
Version
Studio 1.5
Yeah.
and Studio 2.
We've got a software
we
update
were
coming.
going all in, and then we kind of, like you say, things were starting to change. The location change looks like it's on the horizon. So we pulled back on the reins to be like, look, let's not go all in here.
Yeah.
Let's just wait. So this is season 2, but kind of maybe think of it as season 1.5.
Yeah. It's season 2, but Studio 1.5.
Yes.
I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Nice.
This
Yeah.
is
No,
I feel like when the Naked Gun films
yeah.
were like that because they were like it's Naked Gun 1.5,
Yeah, yeah,
2.2, and 3.3.
love it.
Just wait till we get to the director's cut. That's gonna be the one. But yeah. So what have you got going on?
We got a globe.
Very, very nice globe.
Doubles up as
Obviously,
the drinks.
it's-
Trying
yeah.
to show them inside.
Look at
Oh,
that.
the
Look at the
globe.
artwork on
The
the
day
inside.
drinking, you can fucking get out of that.
Yeah, so we've got the globe.
That is magnificent.
We're hoping it actually goes up in value as well.
True.
It's kind of,
it's an investment piece.
It's like a they haven't come out with these yet, but it's like a physical NFT.
Ah,
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Which I don't know when they're going to come out with them. But
Yeah.
it's basically something that you buy and it goes up in value. So yeah, it's like a physical, it's like an NFT you can
That's a
actually touch.
fungible
A real
token.
one.
Yeah, it's a real.
Yeah, it's an FT.
Yeah.
There we go.
I feel like the inside of it is like is it the 16th chapel?
16.
Yeah.
16, yeah.
Oh, it's not. That's not a number 6. I thought there was.
16.
No, that
it is-
16th one
it
is
is the
fucking.
I was going to
top
say.
through
It's like,
drawer.
I mean, I
think that's
I
actually
thought he
not-
did well. We had 15 other times to practice it.
It's number 6 in there, mate. It's
That
number-
does.
okay.
That looks hand painted.
Yeah,
I
that
might
does.
be wrong.
But
Oh, it's worth.
yeah, it's a nice globe. We've
That's worth a
got
bald ape.
yeah,
Fucking hell.
yeah, it is.
We will swap.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not a fan of the sofa. We
Oof.
Yeah.
ordered a
Sofa.
van. We got a van obviously, so we could go and get a sofa. But then obviously we had the van for one day,
Mm.
and there was no previous planning to get the sofa. So we
There was no sofa.
Well, we left the planet to Ben, didn't we, to take us
Yeah.
to places that White House.
He did. To be fair, he did find places with sofas.
Yeah.
they're
I mean,
just-
They were closed down.
This one right.
But
But yeah, so I feel like me and Dan we're probably going to switch up.
The first two places had no sofas.
Yeah, no sofas.
No, one. Yeah,
This one.
one. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're right.
Yeah.
Actually,
But we're
The
going
chaise
we are
longue.
going to switch this up.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got the. Yeah, we'll go into the chaise longue.
Yeah. Well, the special's coming out this week.
Yeah.
Well, no.
Oh, okay.
Next
cool.
week, technically.
Obviously, me and
Stay
Dan, we love diving.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
But
Dan's told us on the fears and phobias one.
Yeah, I mean, if I had that on, I would definitely be dead.
That is heavy. I
Heavy.
put it on. That is heavy.
Heavy and like very metalish.
Yeah, it's not
Well,
nice.
Not
in
many
there.
seals.
well, that's cool though. We're probably going to get some lighting going on with that, so it sort of
Nice.
lights
Yeah.
up.
Beaming out.
Yeah.
Cool.
We got the lampshade next to us.
Yeah,
We've got this,
Uh,
looks
which
tight.
is
Oh
No
yeah,
bulb in
yeah.
it, but-
I like that. Yeah.
heavy as fuck.
Yeah.
We're like a
Yeah.
It's
nuclear
very
bunker.
reminds me of a bit
Yeah.
like what's that game? Is it Fallout?
Yeah.
Something that you
I can
you
see
know
that.
you open up the drawer and see if there's
Some
Fallout.
files in there.
Fast impact.
Pistol.
In there, do you know what I mean?
find your some bit
Got these.
cushions.
I love
yeah.
these.
Oh yeah, I do like.
Cushions bought
Yeah.
separately.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
We ain't got cushions. Fuck.
We ain't, but
Yeah.
I don't think we need.
I
it.
feel like I'm looking over now.
I
I
feel
feel like
like
you
a
need some-
fucking baller. I won't.
I
lie.
feel like you
Yeah.
need some like purple and grey cushions. Maybe like a greyish cushion with some purple tassels.
Yeah, I like it.
Something like that.
something with tassels.
Yeah. Obviously,
Nipple
I just
tassels.
realised. Sorry for the. Obviously, we're being very descriptive, but for the audio listeners, I do suggest you come over to YouTube. Just have a little browse, so you know what you listen. When
Whilst
you can
you're driving.
visualise, yeah, while you're driving, ping it on. You can visualise,
Yeah.
you know, what you're listening to,
If you
And
end up in a
subscribe.
ditch-
and subscribe. Of course.
like the video.
Yeah,
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely do that,
Yeah, do
please.
yeah.
We should have gone purple with that alien
I know. Yeah.
tee, shouldn't we?
It's all right though. It's a bit
New
of
logo.
double advertisement.
Look at that. Very, very nice.
It's
Going
nice
for a
as well.
spray paint vibe.
Very Banksy.
Gradients. as you can see.
Banksy.
Yeah, it's
So you've gone for like a
Created
yellow,
by Danksy over here.
yellow into orange into red.
yeah.
We're
I like it.
So you have gone quite
the
color
gradient.
coded over here, but
Yeah, you are
it's
very
just,
tied in.
yeah, until we get into the new.
This is 1.5.
Yeah, like I say, when we get into Studio 2,
Yeah.
that's when shit's about to get super
it's
real.
gonna
It's
come
gonna-
alive.
Get full fucked up. Let's go.
So we're kind of halfway there, but we didn't want to, you know,
Wait.
postpone
Yeah.
and be like, you know, we'll wait till the next building.
Yeah, it's just going to be too long, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Between
So-
podcasts.
So we just thought we'd slap it up.
Yeah.
It's a good transition, I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
definitely.
I feel like it's a good effort.
Yeah.
It feels
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
fresh to me.
Yeah,
I feel incredibly fresh right now.
and considering what the studio looked like mere hours ago,
Yes.
it's fucking brilliant.
It's a huge improvement.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like I say, Ben's he's got the old.
He's got the roan.
He's got the
the
old
run.
VID to the co.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's yeah,
Rona
we've
Lisa.
really had to wing it today really.
he's
Yeah,
a two-timer.
definitely. But I do feel like, and there's no disrespect, Ben. If Ben was here, he would have had a panic attack over the course of the
yeah.
last few hours. It's been it's been
Hectic.
hectic, but we've pulled out of the bag. I feel.
We have decimated his cable management.
Oh yeah.
Ah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
there is no cable management in
No,
here at
no.
all. There's
No,
just
the
cables.
floor
It's
is-
cable mismanagement at the moment.
Yes.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, but it needed to be done.
Yeah.
It did need to be done. So what we've got, is there anything else to bring up on your side? I think we're pretty much there for now.
Oh, the lamp. I love
Yeah,
lamp.
we've got
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
You got the ornament behind you as well.
Oh, yeah? I don't know if that can
yeah.
actually be picked up
I
on.
don't
It
know.
can't be picked up on camera, but there is an
Yeah.
ornament above their heads.
Oh yeah, I don't
So we are-
can't actually say it.
Studio 2, we're going to get some shelving and bits
Yeah.
and bobs
Yeah.
and lots of different collectibles.
It's gonna be a
Your
bigger
side,
room
guys.
too.
Let's get straight into the.
There's a lot going on.
Let's get into the Shezza.
The Shezza.
the Shezza.
I saw
into the
this,
Shezza.
and obviously in the
This was
special
in
you'll see
Titanic.
it. Yeah, this is just. I'll tell you what. You go to like I don't know the Queen's house,
Yeah.
and I don't think this would look out of place at all. And the guy that we bought it off, I mean, you'll see us doing a little bit of haggling that in the special, but he was like, "Listen, you're never going to lose money on this."
Yeah.
And I kind of believe him, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, I have stuck a load of strip lights on the back, which might have torn it all up.
If anything, it's made it more valuable.
Yeah, it's made it
That's
more
it.
valuable. Yeah.
That's it. But yeah, it's. Do you know what? Are you comfortable? I'm
I am.
fucking well comfy. I got my arm out and that.
I don't know what to do with my cushion. I'm not going to lie. You've gone.
it.
I mean, in contrast to how Jimmy and Dan look,
Yeah, I'm a bit upright
Yeah,
for my liking.
yeah. I mean, I think
My balls.
obviously people not spoilers for the special, but like you were saying about the van and that, and it was getting towards the end of the day, and we were
Yeah.
kind of panicking a bit, weren't we? So
yeah.
I just wanted to use the tail lift,
yeah,
and it just seemed like if we didn't use it, it was a failure.
yeah.
But
I think you're right.
we couldn't find a cheap
No.
sofa or like
No.
even like the little or what do they call them? Just the chairs. That's it. That's what they call them, aren't they? The chairs.
Yeah.
The little one seaters.
Yeah.
The little one seaters. Couldn't find them anywhere.
Then one seater sofas. What
Then one seat. That's I was genuinely going to say that. The little one seater sofa. Couldn't find them anywhere.
There was one place. It was I don't know the name of the store, but it was brand new sofas.
Yeah, we got kicked out.
Tried
Oh, yeah, we
to
got
haggle
rid
with a woman, going.
Yeah.
She was like, "No, this is the
Oh, that was-
price."
that was
Yeah.
fair.
I did find one, and I was like, "Oh, this is really comfortable. How much is this?" And he was like, "For that one seater sofa, that is £800." And I was
Oh,
like,
that was SCS.
Yeah.
When he
Shout
told us,
out.
told
they
us
were-
not to film.
Yeah.
We got a
Shut
budget
up.
of like I can't remember what like 400
Well,
500 for
Yeah.
this.
Well, we had so basically
With a grand each.
we had £1,000 each for our half.
Yeah.
So obviously you needed to factor in lots of things like, we'll get to Mr. Alien Man over here. But yeah, so how much was that sofa?
This was cheap, 90
Yeah.
quid, I believe.
90
it might be
quid.
80 quid.
80,
It
60,
might.
90.
We probably
Yeah.
shouldn't have told them because we could probably put it on eBay and then.
Well,
Taking
it's on an internet
done a
show
good-
now, so it's
Yeah.
now the sofa is now famous. So
maybe it's a giveaway. Early giveaway.
the sofa.
Must come and collect and must pay £70.
That's a sick giveaway.
Yeah, it's a
It's
giveaway.
That's a good giveaway.
It's only a
Yeah.
70 quid loss
A
from the
giveaway
start.
that you-
Maybe we do a
pay for.
raffle for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
£70 a ticket.
Dan's making that money back.
Oh dear. Yeah, I mean, our chaise long was. I mean, I don't
It
know
was
if we should
sizable.
it's not going to spoil the special, but it was,
It was
it was
475 in the end, wasn't it?
Was it all 425?
I thought we paid 475.
No, I think it was 475.
Oh,
We got
okay.
it down to 425. But I
Fair.
did see.
Was 425, but we paid 475 for it.
He's fucking up, man.
I-
Fucking
I
Marvin
did-
Hagler over there.
I did see though after we bought it for 425 down from 475, there was an old ticket for 550.
Nice.
So in the
And-
end,
And you got 10% off extra.
yeah. Yeah, he weren't too happy
Nice.
about the whole haggling, was he? He was sort of,
No,
look,
you could tell.
yeah, what did he say? He was something about bargain hunt, wasn't it? He was like, listen,
Oh, it's safe for bargain.
he said fucking bargain hunt, right? You can just tell that David Dickinson goes in there once a week and
Yeah.
probably tries to absolutely pull him down. But I still disagree with that. I think,
Just phone a finger says flog it or something.
but I think that is part of that world.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, but the whole idea is they
What do you think this
overprice
is?
it
Bargain
to
hunt?
take
Yeah.
it.
well, yeah,
Your
We're
shop
lit-
looks like bargain
We're
hunt.
literally in a fucking.
This is literally what bargain hunt's
emporium.
about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They literally come to these shops. But
Do you think this is a podcast?
but we've got this dude here, Mr. Alien Man, which, as you can see, can beautifully rep the merchandise. And he doesn't have a name. So I thought I'd leave that to the comments.
Throw it to the
Nice.
audience.
So we've got a life-size alien right here, which is...
A life-size, one-to-one scale.
Technically,
It could
you're not
be.
wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I forgot to preface this episode. We are actually going to be talking about Bob Lazar today, but obviously it's a new season, so we're going to talk about all of the changes probably in the first half, and then we're going to get to the alien stuff. And actually, from my research, this might be too tall to be a life-size alien. But we'll get into we'll get into that in a bit.
Big fan.
If you're moaning about this and you're a little alien nerd, fuck off. Just wait. Be a bit patient.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That said Bob Lazar in the title. Shut up. We've been away. We're back and we're happy to be back. So we're chatting shit.
Call yourself an alien. What do they call themselves? Alienologist.
Ufologist.
Do they?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
know
Be
that.
patient.
Yeah, you need patience.
You do, because they're not fucking coming anytime soon.
Exactly.
They made that up, didn't they?
So we've got the sofa, the chaise longue, we've got Mr. Alien Man. He's not part of the special because we got him in a different shop nearer us.
Nearer to us.
And he set us back 175.
yeah.
But I think he's worth every penny. Look at him. It's fucking well cool.
He is dope.
So if you can name him in the comments, that'd be amazing.
Yeah.
We've got this cabinet. Hello. Ooh, fucking technical difficulties. My mic just fucking broke. This cabinet, that was actually yours, wasn't it?
That was yours.
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
That's actually what you picked up, but
Looks
we
better.
did
It's a
little
group effort, you know.
Yeah, we did a little trade.
Yeah.
And then on top,
looks better over there.
it's fucking cool.
We didn't trade.
I was going to say
Well,
we
we just got
traded
it.
actually fuck all. Yeah. Oh, we got that.
It wasn't.
It's one of those trades where
We did one of those.
where you lose everything and the other person gains everything.
Well, imagine that you get done for robbery. They're like, you're in a court of law. It was a trade. It was
a simple trade, Your Honour.
The one-way trade.
I traded my time at their house
for their TV.
It's not a family, you know.
Oh man, that's funny.
A trade.
We needed a shelf, and they had a cabinet. So
The colours just
c'est la
go.
vie.
There you go.
It's better. It's better over there. The greys, the
The
gold.
Atma Cup is
Yeah, the Atma
glowing.
Cup.
It's
Obviously,
better in
this
the
will
thieves'
be
hands.
depending on
I'm gonna have to put it.
what happens.
Yeah.
This will be moving around either side. The old King of Atma. Did we decide? Did what happened there?
I don't know.
Did you abdicate it, or did I abdicate it, or
I don't know, mate.
I can't remember? Or do we still
It's
share
like
it? I
the
can't
bloody
actually.
boxing at the minute, isn't it? So.
Yeah, I'll step aside for 27 million if you want to. But yeah, so we've got these really fucking cool steampunk statues. One's a rhino, one's a silverback gorilla. Just really fucking cool. And we've got some strip lights glowing it up. We've got a mirror over there that's very Aztec-y, but I weren't sure about the lighting, like reflecting and stuff like that. And so it's been stressful today, so we thought we'll pass on that for now. But so the studios are fucking tasty, but not the finished article because we will be moving. So that is the studios. Now, I just want to go over some stuff because there's going to be some changes to season 2. We've been putting our heads together and kind of thinking, how can we improve Atma? So, one of the things we're going to do is we are each going to head up a podcast each a month. So, week 1 will be myself, week 2 will be Jimmy, week 3 will be Lozzie, and week 4 will be Dan. What this does is it gives us a solid month each to plan a super duper podcast for you guys. So yeah, and I just think like it's a good time to do it, and it spreads the load, and we're all kind of getting involved and stuff. So I think that's going to be really fucking cool, and also, you know, it keeps it fresh for everyone. You know, what's this week going to be about, and all that sort of stuff, which is awesome. We've also been hearing you down in the comments in the Discord. It's a very mixed bag when it comes to the clips, because some of you enjoy, you know, getting a little sneak peek. Some of you don't want to spoil the podcast, and you know, and stuff like that. So we've heard you, and we have a dedicated clips channel now. It's Atma Clips. It'll be linked down below. If you're listening or watching this on Sunday, it will be going live tomorrow. So it'll be going live on Monday. I believe the 7th is the date. So the Monday, that channel will be going live. It also means, well, it means two things. One, the main channel won't be so cluttered. And two, anything on the main channel is like original content, you know, so it's not a clip of anything. It'll be a vlog. It'll be the new Atma midweeker, which we'll talk about in a second. Any specials like that. So we've got a dedicated clips channel cleaning up the main channel. You may have heard, this is just some just some of the stuff I need to talk about. Brand new intro music, brand new swanky intro. studio produced recreation of Lozzie's amazing original Atma song. Now, if you would like I have, to have this as your ringtone or something like that, you can download it down below. The link is down below to download the track, and then you just change your settings, and boom, you've got yourself a brand new sick ringtone. As we've discussed, we've got a brand new logo. We're going graffiti-esque. We might be going out and about to some abandoned places,
Gonna tag a few places.
which might tie in the graffiti.
Throw out some gang
Obviously,
signs.
new Atma merch is coming
Thanks,
your way. So what is the Atma Midweeker? It's YouTube exclusive, so for the listeners out there, you will have to head over to YouTube. And basically what it is, each week we are going to pick a topic, right? Something that has happened in the last week or two. So it's going to be topical. And now the Atma Midweeker, it can be 5 minutes, it can be 30 minutes. We're just going to pick a subject, and it's going to be its own thing. So it's going to be almost like an exclusive clip, if you like, for YouTube on that Wednesday. So that is the Atma Midweeker. So it could be 5 minutes, it could be 30 minutes, and it's going to be every single Wednesday. We also want to get more guests on, don't we? Because we really enjoy having the guests on. Obviously, Michael was fantastic. David was an experience. David was amazing. I'd love to get Dave back on the show. But not just any guests. We want the weird, the extreme, and the wonderful. And I may have a legitimate witch lined up for us in the near future.
She ticks all three.
That's it. So keep your eyes peeled for that one. But we want real people with real stories. So if you think if you think you know someone,
That's the one.
email us.
Yes.
Yeah. The email is down below. And VIPs, how you doing? So we've been thinking a lot about you guys, and obviously the VIP episode of the podcast is normally pre-recorded and stuff like that. I think what we're going to do instead is we're going to replace the end of the month VIP episode with a live stream Q&A. So you'll be able to talk to us in real time and ask us all of your burning questions. Okay.
In real time.
So yeah, I think that wraps up the changes. Anyone else? I missed anything, have I?
No?
Got all of
I think that's all covered.
all the admin out of the way.
Yeah. I think that's about
Atma
it.
admin
Atma admin.
coming soon. The admin channel.
Yeah.
You see
Admin
all
clips.
all the behind the scenes.
We're gonna have an admin channel and an admin clips channel. Just
clip the shit out of the admin.
Just Ben on his laptop.
Yeah.
Sending emails.
When are you
yeah.
going to get into Bob Lazar?
Yeah.
There we go.
Well, that's a great segue somehow. Because Bob Lazar starts right now. So I wanted to, like I said, we're doing an episode each, and I wanted to do mine centered around Bob Lazar. And I have gone in on this guy. I've read lots of stuff. I've watched lots of stuff all around him. Have you guys heard of Bob Lazar?
Yep.
UFO guy.
But for people who haven't, who is he?
So Bob, who is he? That's what this whole episode is going to be about, because his story is actually insane. So there's a documentary, Bob Lazar, Area 51 and Flying Saucers, that's currently on Discovery Plus. I believe it was originally released on Netflix, but it's not on there anymore. And that just tells his whole story. It's narrated by Mickey Rourke, which at times, I won't lie, it's a bit hard to understand. He's sort of like a gravelly kind of Rocky Balboa. And like there's at the end of I'll talk about the end because I literally have no idea what's said. Like, because anytime Mickey Rourke's narrating, it's like to say something like really philosophical and stuff about like, the universe and that. And the documentary ends, and it's literally just like. And I'm like, what the fuck did he just say? Yeah.
Turns out he was the alien all along.
Yeah, so it's just really weird. But I understand, because like if I was making a documentary and I had Mickey Rourke to narrate it, I'd want to use him as much as possible. Yeah. And I kind of feel like that's what happens. But it's just really funny.
He doesn't make any sense. He's like, keep that in.
He's got I don't know, a tangent, but I think I'm going to do a podcast on him.
Really?
Because
What, just Mickey Rourke?
his story,
His
man.
life's insane, isn't it?
Insane.
Yeah.
Like insane.
Actor, then boxer,
That's
then
gonna be. I've got one plan. That's gonna be my second one. I think.
the Mickey Rourke
Mickey Rourke
special.
special.
There you go,
I
Mickey
reckon
Rourke
that'll
fans
bang.
after the 5. Get on to the Mickey Rourke stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got. Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
man.
going in on Mickey Rourke.
But yeah, it just made me fucking die, honestly.
I haven't even seen it. I could just picture
Honestly,
it.
it's so funny.
I want that as my ringtone.
Oh man, but so this whole story is kind of is set in the desert of Las Vegas, the city of sin, which is just one of the strangest places I've ever been. Even without the aliens, it's a different place. Everything's extreme, everything's big, gambling, the lot. It's like fucking. It's a hell of a place.
There's
Got any stories?
There's a
Any
special power going on there.
Look at that. For the audio listeners, they've combined soles of feet. You two are so close.
It's so close. I mean, we're brothers and stuff, but
We joined at the bottoms of our feet.
Joined at the soul. That's beautiful.
We're soul brothers.
But yeah, so it's
My soul
it's in Vegas. Oh, dude, do it again.
Sorry. Soulmates.
Look at that.
Don't care.
That could be your thing. That's just how you see it.
Yeah.
Is that? I didn't actually think that's been picked up on camera. Lift it up.
It is.
Oh, it is. Bosh, trained camera. Lovely.
Soulmates. Love it.
Yes, Area 51, located on the northwest
Soul Bros.
edge of Nevada, which is obviously a massive test site, which is where many US weapons tests take place. We all know this, but I didn't realise until, really digging into this guy, the whole reason the whole Area 51 thing even blew up was because of Bob Lazar, like coming out with all his stories. So
Really?
without
the
Bob
originator.
Lazar, all this sort of stuff would have still been relatively under wraps, which is absolutely mad. But obviously now Area 51 is famous for, well, that's where the aliens are. I personally think
There's an Area 52.
there is. Yeah, there actually
Yeah.
is.
I don't
And-
see- I-
But Bob Lazar actually worked in S4,
S4, yeah.
which is within like a perimeter of Area 51, I think, but it's like an offshoot of it. But I just think like how famous Area 51 is now,
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't put the aliens in Area 51. They'd be somewhere
All
else.
day double bluff.
Yeah.
I'd stick him in studio too.
But yeah, so Bob Lazar, it's really difficult on how to kind of plot this actual episode out, which I know is what I'm supposed to have done. But because of how intricate the story is, we'll start with him blowing it all open, and then we'll go back to how he got into it, and then how he got out of it. Because the story of how he was no longer part of it is fucking insane in itself. But basically, one man steps forward, Bob Lazar, in the shadows. He was called Dennis because he didn't want his identity revealed. It was one of those interviews. And on May the 15th, 1989, he did an interview, right, on the news, and he just basically said, look, I don't give a... Essentially, the TLDR was, I don't give a shit if you believe me or not. You just need to understand, you need to just know that this is going on. And basically, he claimed that there were 9 separate flying saucers that are of extraterrestrial origin that are being test flown and analysed in this place, S4. The important thing about S4, much like a few things that I'll go into, no one had ever fucking heard of this place, ever. Until he came out with it, and then obviously investigative reporters went to the government, what's going on at S4, and then S4 was confirmed. So like before that, S4, it's not even like this guy heard of this place and then started making it up, because it was like off the books, if you like.
Yeah.
So essentially S4 was proved to be real after the fact. So yeah, he said about these 9 flying saucers, some of them are 100% intact and operate perfectly. Others are taken apart and reverse engineered. And he was brought in as a propulsion and power source specialist because basically this guy used to attach jet engines to cars, and like rip around his neighborhood and stuff. And he had like this fascination with like having immense power, but being able to control it. Much like jet propulsion, obviously is.
Like jet propulsion and me.
Great
having
power.
great power, but
great
being
control.
able to control it as well.
It was on a Honda, wasn't it?
Honda.
Yeah, it's like a massive fuck off jet engine.
Don't
It's,
need a
it's
jet
absolutely
engine on
insane.
that.
That's it. Sorry, a
Beast.
1.1.
Honda a
Fucking
Fumin.
hell.
Yeah. Honda
Yeah.
Civic.
Yeah, so that's what how he got their attention and stuff, and he was kind of brought in because, or he thinks because they kind of got stuck and they saw this guy and thought, do you know what, he might be able to think outside the box. So yeah, he was brought in, but it's weird because apparently the information within S4 and the way they operate is everything is so compartmentalized. But the thing that Bob said, is in science, it's the collaboration which is how you progress, because if everyone is learning different things about certain areas and then coming together with what they learn, but if you're like on the propulsion, there you don't even know what the thing is actually made of because there'll be another team working on what it's made of, but they're not allowed to talk and shit. So he was like, it's very counterintuitive, and it's probably why they fail to progress very well. But he was brought in for propulsion. And he was given an example of the ships. So when he first went in there, he was shown the ships, and he said like they all looked very, very different. Like none of them looked the same, which he didn't know if they were like different types or from the same species, or if they were different aliens or stuff like that. But he also said, interestingly, that he knows for a fact, air quotes, because it was spoken about around the facility, that one of them was discovered in an archaeological dig, which would imply, obviously, that it's thousands of years old on this planet.
Yeah.
And it's already, miles ahead of anything that we can do. But it's just like, he was also saying, like, we obviously look at the technological progression, where it's like, you got wood and fire, you got like, coal and the steam engine, and then like combustion, and then like all that sort of stuff. But he was like, what if, the planet that these things come from, if they have heavier elements like this element 115, which will come into it in a bit, they could be starting
fast,
faster, way ahead of us.
100%.
So all these different things, when you see like, oh well, this was found in an archaeological dig and it's so far advanced, that could actually be one of the first things that they ever fucking did. Much like we created the steam train, the first thing they did was fucking interdimensional travel, something like that.
Yeah, I've got I won't interject, but like
no, honestly, also feel free to pop in anytime.
I've got some theories about this and about AI, artificial intelligence, and like if there's another planet somewhere that's got something like us that's progressed, like I say, with different elements, maybe somewhere has built some sort of machine, and like once AI starts developing, it becomes rapid. Like it can double its intelligence like in seconds and seconds.
Yeah.
So even now at this current stage, in 20 years, there's going to be AI. I think it's almost 1 billion times more intelligent than we are.
Yeah,
which is fucking insane. Like
that's disgusting.
Then we're the second. Like AI's up here and we're second in the chain.
Yeah, because I'd imagine we're not 1 billion times smarter than an ant.
No,
if that is 1 billion times smarter than us,
exactly. So the comparison I think that was used is like it's like comparing Einstein to a fly.
Do you reckon that's why the aliens leave us alone? Because they're like, listen, we could batter them now, but once they get this AI thing going, we're fucked. So
yeah,
I think everything's fucked.
So let's leave them. Let's just leave them alone. Hopefully, if we don't fuck with them, when they get the AI, they won't fuck with us.
When Siri can hold a fucking AK, we're in trouble.
So my thing is that these ships and stuff, we always associate, there's a ship and then there's a little alien and stuff. I don't know where they go.
They don't like being called little.
Yeah, well, you always say little. What if the AI just doesn't need anything anymore? It's just like it just goes up.
It's just a drone.
Yeah, it's the perfect thing to go through space.
Yeah,
it doesn't need any. It doesn't do any pretty much any destination. Once it's a billion times more intelligent than us, so it knows exactly where to go, get resources, replicate itself.
Doesn't need oxygen.
Doesn't need oxygen. It's the perfect thing to go through space and like replicate itself and travel and not necessarily take over. Because I always think we always think about supreme intelligence and we're like, oh yeah, they'll just kill us all. Well, like look at humans. Like at the moment, we're the supreme intelligence. We haven't killed everything.
No,
we've done a good job, but like we still preserve stuff because
and we also
need
study a lot of shit.
Yeah.
We just look at stuff.
So they're saying with AI as well.
We can find things and then watch them.
Yeah.
Maybe we've been confined on a planet, and this is just a zoo.
Oh, mate, I was going to get into
Imagine there is just one massive planet that's just fucking, and then they just put us on these little tiny dot ones, and they're like, they can't get off because of gravity.
Yeah.
Perfect, really.
Yeah,
We're one vivarium.
That's the thing.
And just leave us on there and watch us. We're just TV programs.
Yeah.
If you tune into Earth, it's great. It's all going on down there.
Mad. They're currently doing this COVID thing. It's insane.
Brilliant.
It's like, oh, is that as good as the Black Plague? Oh, it's not as entertaining, but it's up there.
It's up there, yeah.
Because there's
7.9 on Alien DB.
I was gonna get into that in a bit, but we can definitely do it now because it's like that's the recurring theme with these UFOs. Well, there's two things, and kind of actually this was kind of an offshoot with the Tic Tac and actually weirdly ties into where we bought these chairs from, but I will get there. So like, it's
a wild ride coming.
When I've been
UFO, DFS, it's all to do with these three letters.
That's it.
DHL.
Alien's got a massive sale on. But
Takes 20 years to deliver.
So one thing when I've been looking into this and looking into all the alien shit, and I looked a bit into, because when you start somewhere and you end up miles away, but I was looking into Tic Tac and stuff like that, and what all these different kernels and shit have said. There has been a running theme, both in the US and in Russia, during the Cold War, which is kind of when I believe when Bob was working at S4, and also when like the Rendlesham Forest thing happened and stuff like that. Obviously, the Cold War. America and Russia aiming nukes at each other. Oh, will we, won't we? Ooh.
Yeah.
Apparently there was reports across so many US bases and so many Russian bases that UFOs would essentially appear, fuck with all the equipment, and sometimes even deactivate nuclear warheads, right? Now, this is not just one base. This is so many bases, and this is both the US and Russia. And obviously they don't really fucking like each other, and yet they have this in common. And so when we were purchasing the things that you see in this room, we were at an emporium, and obviously we had cameras and stuff, and the staff were a little bit inquisitive. And one of them, a gentleman that I got talking to, we dropped him our email and stuff, and if he ever wants to come on, because oh my god, did he know about conspiracies? Holy shit!
He was raiding them off.
He's gone to where JFK was shot and shit. Like
he was there.
He put me to shame, and I've based a fucking career around the shit. And he was saying about Rendlesham Forest, which I have a Rendlesham Forest expert that might be coming on, which is amazing. So Rendlesham Forest, the TLDR, is a forest where a UFO was spotted in the actual woods. It's right next to a US Army base. And it's all on record. The colonel of the time, he's sort of like, not made a career out of it, but he's written a book, and he does like, press tours and all that sort of shit. And this guy who was at the shop was telling me all about it. And obviously I knew a bit about Rendlesham before, but not this much. And he said to me, which is really interesting, apparently he said this in an interview, I must admit I have tried to find this interview. I couldn't find it, but if we just entertain the idea and take his word for it for a second, apparently this colonel has come out and said he touched the UFO, because it was parked in Rendlesham. In Rendlesham Forest, there's like a statue of it, where apparently it was. He touched this UFO, and apparently it spoke to him, like in his head, which, they do say, the telepathic and shit like that. And the ship said, don't be scared. We are you from the future.
Yep.
and we've come back to stop the Cold War. Now, if you think about all these sightings across these bases and they've deactivated these nukes, what if we are now on a new timeline where the Cold War didn't erupt. They've come back from a timeline where it did.
100%,
nuclear holocaust or whatever. I know you'd probably argue, well, how we have the technology. Well, shut up, all right? Because we're just pulling a thread here, and that's what's fun about conspiracies and shit. It's, that's kind of how I make sense of that. But I just think, basically, he told me that when we were doing this, and then when I was researching this, I was just finding all of these fucking cases of US and Russian bases and nuclear warheads being fucking deactivated and shit. Now, there was a colonel of a base who basically theorized that actually it wasn't that, but it was the aliens showing how superior they were, and like, oh, you've got nukes, that's cute, we can just turn them off. So we are so superior to you, you're fucked. But I really like the whole that it's potentially us from the future. Obviously, spoilers, that's kind of not the plot of, but a similar thing in, what's that? What's the...
Terminator 2.
Terminator 2, yeah. It's got to be in every episode. Shotgun Reload.
Yeah.
That's it.
No, what's the Matthew McConaughey thing?
Oh, Interstellar.
Interstellar, the
Terminator 3.
the fifth dimension shit. But yeah, so that is just somehow how Bob Lazar links into our furniture, which is amazing. But yeah, I just thought that was just like, I know it's a stretch, but at the same time, it is a bit like putting 2 and 2 and getting 4.
I mean, that guy was insane. I'd walk away from your conversation about one conspiracy. I'd come back, he's talking about a totally different one.
Yeah.
I've done that about 3 or 4 times.
I was talking to him for like 45 minutes. It was fucking, it was just like, he knows so much. And I was just thinking, please.
The Oracle.
Please come on. Like, cause just, oh man.
That it does tie into like, the whole artificial intelligence, like them trajectory, like going so much more intelligent than us, that obviously they can go, as we progress through the future, it's going to keep getting more and more intelligent. So once it's 1 billion times more intelligent than a human, which at the moment that artificial intelligence is getting close to human intelligence.
Yeah.
So it is of being, it thinks it's something. There's like, I'm going to do a whole show on it.
Yeah.
So like we're at a pinnacle point at this moment in time where we're close to coming over the line, and it's not like it's not replicating itself to make little humans and stuff. It can travel through all our internet connections. It can control military stuff. It's on your bank accounts. It can control currency. There's so much it can do at the moment.
Yeah.
So it might, but it replicate, like we as a human, we take 9 months to make a new human and replicate, and that so our learning process is actually, although it's super fast, it's actually quite slow compared to a machine, which can like almost double. If it's imagine something 1 billion times more intelligent than a human, like in the future, I imagine that can figure out time travel.
You'd think so?
For
sure. If it's possible, it would work it out.
If it's entirely possible for whatever think how far we've got as humans and what we've achieved, and what we can do, and sending stuff off in space, like something of that intelligence. Like, so imagine that these pods are just machines that they've made and just sent back.
Yeah.
Just for whatever reason to maybe to change stuff. They probably know the outcomes better than,
or even just to fucking observe like a history lesson.
Observe it, send it back. Oh, and as well, imagine if it's like, well, we're here now, based here. This is their life or trajectory. If we could send something back and manipulate, maybe change that bit in the Cold War, and also as well. So they say about artificial intelligence at the moment, it's learning, and because it's conscious, it's going to have its own morals.
That is terrifying.
And its own, it will have its own moral compass, and it's like just the same as a human.
And
does.
then it works out that the bit worst thing on this planet is us.
Is us, yeah. So
it's inevitable, really.
They're saying, even at the moment, they're saying this with social media, that those algorithms like they're learning, so
Yeah.
they're picking up, and,
Yeah.
and it's actually teaching itself. Well, this is right, this is wrong, and it's
Yeah.
making its own little moral compass.
Oh
like,
my god.
imagine that when that's more. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're so
The,
fucked.
the,
Yeah.
the day that I was like, okay, this is probably going to lead to disaster, was there's an AI playing against some guy a game of Tetris
Yeah,
like several years ago,
yeah,
and the guy got the AI to the point where the AI could not win,
yeah,
and it just refused to play.
yeah.
It was like, okay,
Oh, what do you mean the guy couldn't
no,
win?
the guy
AI
was going to win no matter what,
Oh, right, okay.
and then the AI just would not
Oh,
play.
so the AI refused to
Yeah,
play
just
because he
fucking
knew
stop.
it would lose.
Yeah,
Mate,
Fucking hell.
there's been AI developed that it's made its own language, and it
speaks
and it
to
speaks to each other, and it's in a made up language.
What are
and
we doing?
And there's also stuff
What are we
where
doing?
it's arguing with each
Oh
other.
my god. What
So
are we
like
doing?
it's I'm gonna do a whole thing in it, but
Oh,
I
man.
believe that all of this has something to do with that, either something in the future, currently, or in the past, which I'm covering all three there. So,
Yeah.
so I'm 100% right.
I'm doing the trifecta,
yeah,
mate.
Yeah.
But I do think that I think that it just makes sense. It's so rapid; it can travel anywhere. It can go through space.
Yeah.
Like, that will outlive. Once the Earth dies,
Yeah,
and
of course.
balls
We'll
up
be
and
a
up there,
blip, and
there's
that'll still be going.
Like
Oh,
all
that's
it needs to do is
fucking
just send a little
terrifying.
machine somewhere and get the raw materials.
I've actually got anxiety now.
Yeah. We might be involved in a war that we're not even part
yeah,
of.
but
Yeah.
I think it will be. I think it will be there to preserve us as well, because I
Yeah.
think it's going to be like, if it's that clever, it will. Like, well, this made me. This introduced me to life.
Imagine like
Imagine
like,
daddy issues.
the Attenborough like Blue Planet and shit, but it's an AI doing one on us. That actually
Yeah,
makes me feel sick.
I
man.
don't think it's all doom and gloom. I think it will.
If you're AI,
Yeah,
No, I think I think it will be that clever that it will just sort stuff out, because they're already using
Hopefully.
it to sort problems out
hopefully.
that we can't figure out. But it's just so interesting, the rapid
Yeah.
rate. It's progressing, and if you go on Google and stuff, you can see the people who are most scared about it. Elon Musk,
Yeah.
all the people who are in the top like development of all these
Yeah, they're like,
companies, they're
fucked.
petrified of it
yeah.
because they know about it.
Yeah.
Just
And they understand.
They understand, like, yeah.
Oh my god.
So yeah, but again, I don't want to keep fucking butting in.
Yeah, no.
Going off the tangent. But,
No, I just don't want to take too much of your pod this coming up. But what we'll do is, because we're scared, because we haven't got Ben to check on the cameras.
yeah,
That's what I was
we're
literally
gonna
just
go-
the whole
we're gonna
time
go
I just
for a
shit
break.
myself.
Yeah, we're gonna go for a
Gonna
break.
fucking-
We're gonna
camera's got AI.
change the batteries, and then I'll come back with a little offshoot of what we've just been talking about, and then we'll get back into Bob Lazar.
Yeah.
See you in a second. Atmo, you're right. We're back. So just quickly, whilst it's fresh in my mind, we were saying about AI creating maybe drones or replicating itself to send out blah, blah, blah back in time. Well, they theorised, I think it was on the George Knapp, or it might have been the Bob Lazar episode of Joe Rogan, about the aliens themselves, because the ships that they work on, they're very small, and they're designed for what they call the kids or the children, because basically they'd need to be about 3 foot tall. And what they theorized, because of the aliens that they apparently had, and the aliens that you kind of see, like, our friend here who hasn't got a name, seemingly no reproductive organs, right? So how do they reproduce? What's all this sort of stuff. And basically there's a theory that these guys, the aliens are actually essentially like machines, robots, but where we think of machines like, you know, metal, etc., their materials could be more fleshy, if you like. So basically, they could be little like replicated drone men whose sole purpose is to go out and discover and stuff like that.
Interesting.
So yeah, I thought that was quite interesting. But then it kind of made me think, you know, you were saying about us being a zoo and things like that. Like, imagine if we were actually created as some sort of like bio-organic organism, but we were like made almost like machines that could reproduce. But because in our head we think machines are metal, but these things make machine out of organic matter.
Yep.
And like, I think this was Joe Rogan said this really well, because he was like, if you think about it, all we fucking do is innovate.
Mate,
we're never satisfied.
yeah.
Innovate, faster, better, innovate. And like, what if we were put here, or if you know, apes back in the day were altered to produce us, so that we just innovate to create perhaps AI, or you know, to then for them to then use or whatever. Because also another fact, if you can call it that, which I would call it a fact, you know, UFO sightings took a massive hike ever since we dropped the bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And it's like, have we been put here, or, you know, tweaked, etc., to innovate? And they're like, oh shit, they've split the atom. Okay, they're getting there. And then now they're really fucking keeping tabs on us. Maybe they're if it is aliens and not us, they're deactivating our bombs, because it's like, we need them to make the AI shit, not destroy each other. So let's stop them from doing that.
Yeah.
But in the background, they're still innovating. You know, what? A new iPhone every fucking year. Do you know what I mean? When like last year's is perfectly fine. Yeah. But it's just not.
Oh, it's programmed.
It's just like, it needs to be better. I want the new thing. And so...
I reckon the aliens come down and get all the old ones. I reckon they just live a year behind us, but we do all the work.
Them.
Yeah. They've just, we're like, you know, when we send stuff to the tip,
yeah,
it doesn't go in the ground, it's going in the fucking air. They're having all of it.
All
we're doing is just building shit, and they're just fucking taking it.
100%.
If you think
no
about
such thing as landfill.
AI as well, like, if they're infinite.
Yeah.
So like they could, like you say, they could have a play. Like, if we drop that in there, do that, that's like a 20,000 year play.
Yeah.
And they'll get to this level based on our other thing that we did it on fucking Kelper X or whatever. That they, and like, they drop it in, and we're all innovating and doing this stuff, and they're like, oh, they're getting there.
Yeah.
And every now and then, like, they're like, they've got the internet now, we'll just drop in a bit of fucking information, or you know, like Elon Musk, like, he's fucking, you know, he's anti-gravitational thing to somebody.
We'll get to that exact technology in a second.
I'm gonna stop because I
no,
love this shit.
Yeah. But no, it's just fascinating to think about, you know, as these possibilities. And it's like, oh, you know, if there's aliens out there, they come here and destroy us. What if they're actually already just using us to innovate? You know, and also, who's to say? An alien species, they don't live for 1 million years. So, like, if this is like a fucking 20,000 year program, that's a fucking blink to them,
mate. Yeah,
you know. So they don't give a shit.
Yeah.
They're like, oh yeah, we'll get them working on this. We'll get them working on this.
Ants.
Yeah, exactly.
Get the ants
or
on it.
maybe they're so technologically advanced, and they're like, if we go and inseminate all these different planets, I wonder what shit they'll come up with. And we'll just watch them. You know,
we'll just go and collect it, and
exactly. And then we'll
couple
just
of
be
million
like,
years.
that's ours. Yeah, it's just fucking. I'm so scared about my mic keeps crackling, but yeah, it's absolutely it's mad. But speaking of the technology, because like I said, there's loads of intact UFOs at this place, and he was brought in as a propulsion expert, and these crafts that he was working on were reactionless field propulsion. Right now, a quick and very brief physics lesson. Propulsion, right? Basically, everything we have throws shit out the back to push it forward. That's propulsion in a nutshell. Yeah. Not going to bore you with the ins and outs because I don't understand it. But basic is, you know, like a jet engine, push out the back, you go forward. These are reactionless field propulsion, right? What it does, and I'll have an analogy for it as well.
If you let
This
things
technology-
if you let things go behind you, you can then move forward in life.
That's it.
That's his
That
off
is
the dome.
beautiful. Off the
There
dome.
you go.
We're
Sorry.
not even
I had
doing
to throw that
segments
in there.
today. It's the best off the dome you've had. That's cool. So basically, these crafts, these reactors, they create a distortion in space and time in front of it where space actually bends. Now, to get your head around this, Bob says it like this. He says, put a bowling ball in the middle of your bed and then a foot in front of it, push your fist down into the mattress, and the bowling ball will fall into the space you've created.
Got ya.
So these craft, they aren't flying. They're literally falling through space because they're creating a gravitational space distortion in front. So the ship just falls into it. And that is how that technology works. But we don't understand how it creates its own gravitational pull or how it creates its own gravity. So it says here there was a reactor that powered one of the spacecraft that literally had an invisible force field around it, right? So you physically could not touch it and with your bare hand. And it felt like, you know, when you try to put two of the same end of a magnet together
Yep.
Yeah.
and that just doesn't work. Imagine that, but you're trying to put your hand on it and it doesn't work. Now, obviously, there's no metal in your hand or nothing magnetized, so it shouldn't do that.
But
And
there
that's
is something there.
that's why Bob was just like, there is just categorically no fucking way this technology is from this planet.
Yep.
Because we just can't
Do that.
do that.
Yeah.
That's so. It's not even like, oh, you know, the Russians are 10 years ahead. That's like fucking millions of years. Like,
Yeah.
we're so beyond us. And he also, actually, no, I'll finish this and I'll get to that. So this technology is absolutely insane, right? Can't touch it, creates a force field. So then you have to think about the implications of this, because it's like the oil industry is obsolete because that's used for propulsion. Force fields on tanks or any of your artillery, military, whatever. So the first person to crack this shit, you basically have an unbeatable army. So you
Yep.
can essentially take over the fucking world, right? And that's why he thinks this technology is not presented to us and why they're keeping it so under wraps. And that this is Bob's point, right? Is, I tell you what, fucking just off tangent.
mic.
Ben's cable management has ripped the fuck out of the bottom of this mic. I'm so scared. But yeah, so Bob's point, he doesn't really give a shit about aliens.
Yeah.
He's not interested in UFOs. He thinks it's a fucking crime that this technology is kept from us because it would propel us so far forward as a species, you know, because there'd be no need for any jet propulsion, no need, in theory, for any like pollution because of, you know, how this shit works. And the impact on technology, if we could understand it and utilize it, would be absolutely massive. And
Is that why it's being kept away from us, though? Because the governments and stuff make so much money. Is it more profitable for
Exactly.
the governments
I think so.
to keep the technology away?
Definitely, because you just
Yeah.
gotta look at renewable energy and how
Yeah.
good that is, but then all the oil industry would go
because
under.
like I say, they're like, you know, gas prices are going up. There's no other ways for us to.
It's
yeah,
not the
they're
same
just
with gravity
charging
prices,
us.
is it?
Yeah, they're just charging us for stuff that doesn't
Yeah.
necessarily, if it is true.
Yeah,
Oh, the price of gravity's gone up, innit?
Elon Musk.
And they own all the energy companies and
Yeah.
the you know, the whole wars are basically made out of, you know, fucking oil and stuff. And it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
are we just being so small-minded and we're being
think
trapped
so.
in this world that, you know,
yeah, I definitely.
everything that is put in front of us is just to blind side us from actually all this technology and stuff that they've got. They're actually, the aliens are trying to
help us
give it
along.
to us,
Yeah,
and the government keep fucking hiding it.
yeah.
Because I always thought, why don't, you know, really, if aliens are real, why are the government trying to keep it from us?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
I don't understand why you would.
Yeah, well, one of the explanations is because obviously it's all theories, but one of the explanations Bob thought perhaps is because basically what he found when he was working at S4 was no one had a fucking clue what to do with this technology, right?
Yep.
And he was like, imagine that, you know, you vote into power leaders to lead you, and you think in your head like, they understand, they know, certainly pre-COVID, because obviously, the pandemic. I don't know any, I don't want to get political or anything like that, but like,
fuck it, let's get political. I don't mind.
it's like obviously this was kind of unprecedented,
Okay.
and who's to say, Labour would have done better or Lib Dems or whoever, so I don't envy anyone that was in the position to have to try and guide us through this pandemic.
They're all scum.
Yeah, but my point that I'm getting to is, and when this podcast was done was pre-COVID, which is important to say. So basically, you think, you elect these leaders and they lead you and they know what, they're there to be solid and to know what's going on, blah, blah, blah. The fact of the matter is with this stuff, they didn't have a fucking clue. And so imagine them being like, yeah, so aliens are out there. They got insane technology and we don't actually understand how the fuck it works. There'd be no confidence in the leaders, and he thinks the whole political system would just
But then
crumble,
they have put stuff out.
I think
though,
it could
they?
do with.
They have put stuff out. I don't
They
think
have.
it. I don't think it. I actually don't think people would care that much.
I don't.
You'd
I don't
feel,
now. I think
you'd feel
it's
so out of control that you just don't care.
Yeah.
It's kind of.
But
I feel
think
like that with the world now. Sometimes
Yeah.
I'm like, it's so out of my hands that I just don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care what goes on in the news because I can't do anything.
Yeah, I don't watch
can't,
the news.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't
Yeah.
watch it either. It's
Yeah.
so like if they said aliens are out there, what do you want me to go and watch them? Like,
Yeah.
I just crack on with life, don't you? You just
Yeah.
have to get on with it.
Crack on. son.
And really, you think they would say if they were real, they would say that they are because like when they have to get rid of people, Mr. Epstein, they had to get rid of him.
Yeah.
Blame the aliens.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, it's actually
He
a
was
good.
in
It's
with
a
the
good
aliens.
way to like. We can't do nothing about that. Alien got him,
Yeah.
and people just
Such a great.
people would just be like, yeah, because they, all these things. It's like they're trying to cover up, and it's like we don't know it was the Russians and all this stuff. They could just be like, it's just aliens.
Yeah.
It's actually,
Went up.
Boris and who's the other one? Joe. Is it Biden? Joe Biden.
Biden.
Is it
yeah.
Joe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
a weird name, Joe.
Yeah.
Joe.
All the jokes
Just for
out
a
there.
president. Just for, I mean, Joe. Joe fucking Joseph the carpenter. Great. Fits.
Oh yeah, he's a
Joe.
top geezer.
Joe the
True.
president doesn't go.
Yo,
yeah.
Joey.
I see.
But yeah.
I see some clips about him, man. Fucking hell, he doesn't seem the most.
Oh, Biden.
Yeah.
He is funny. I don't understand a word of what
Just
he's saying.
goes
but
on. Right. Yeah.
It's very like
I don't
Mickey
think.
Rourke,
I don't think it's all there.
He's like a more composed Mickey Rourke, but it has the
Yeah.
same like.
Yeah, they
less,
should use-
less gravelly.
If
Yeah.
I was in control, I would use the alien thing to my advantage. I'd be like, they're all out there and they're just killing people.
What's
And
wrong
like-
with the economy? Aliens.
Yeah,
And the
they
next
keep
question,
coming down and they
aliens.
keep taking stocks.
They're taking my Solana. For
It's a
fuck's
great
sake.
excuse, isn't it?
It is. What can you do about that?
Yeah, what are you gonna do? Go get in your police UFO and go and capture them? just blame it on the aliens.
They're using
Yeah.
blockchain technology to move around the atmosphere.
Yeah.
Oh, I actually no. I think it was you that told me, Dan. I was then going to rob your. Is it the Russian Bitcoin conspiracy?
Yeah.
We're going deep today.
Yeah.
boys.
Yes,
Just
sir.
you mentioned
I'm
the
in.
blockchain.
I'm
Yeah.
supporting Russia.
We've been
now.
away for a while, guys.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
oozing out.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Bitcoin-
Ukraine.
Bitcoin
Yeah.
was invented by the Russians to destabilize the American
We
economy.
should call it Bitcoin.
Imagine if that was true.
Exactly. If the Western world goes all in on crypto and like it is the currency, and then Putin's like, yeah, we made that, and
Yeah.
we're gonna switch it off.
Yeah,
And they're like,
yeah.
what do you mean? That's all our money? What?
Yeah.
That's fucking.
Get all them
Oh,
money.
mate. The end
But
game
then you
on
could,
that
I
gun.
suppose, America could just be like, aliens are real.
So fucking what, mate?
About- yeah. Watch out.
that theory you
And
said
they're on our side.
that theory you said earlier about the aliens because they've got no reproductive system.
Yeah.
That they're
As
just
you can see,
they're just made up of
no reproduction organs
That's
there.
it.
yeah, like a flesh, and they're
It's like Ken doll.
like they might just be like a bit of Wi-Fi flesh.
Yeah. No, exactly.
The AI. I'm going back. to
Maybe
my-
they
also-
reproduce through Wi-Fi passwords.
And also, not being funny, if that is the case, and they did invade, they just essentially like fucking 3D printing soldiers, whereas we're actually putting people on the
But
line.
also, the AI are like,
kill them.
right,
We don't give a
let's-
fuck. We'll send another million.
We're making
Don't give a
these.
shit.
We're making these vessels.
Bit more fun making
That-
ours, isn't it?
We're making,
Yeah.
we're making vessels to come back, go in time, go like. Let's make these little things,
They don't like being called little.
Like, they're
Dan.
just-
I've told you.
They're not real.
Derogatory.
They are made. AI is making them,
That's
Oh,
it.
well,
and they're making them.
But you did say
similar to
AI's
us.
become sentient, so do they have feelings?
That's it.
Yeah.
These haven't got feelings. These are just little.
Yeah.
It's 2022.
These
The
are.
aliens
These
got
are little
feelings.
worms.
Yeah, they are. They are.
It's a little fucking dust miner.
These are little Chris Watts.
These are.
They're going to come after you on Twitter, mate.
These are little. I'm sorry,
The
Alien,
aliens.
but like the AI is.
He ain't even got a name yet, and he's getting bad.
You can't
You can tell Ben in
reproduce.
here. He's got to spin. Had to direct direct the banter somewhere.
They're just
Aliens
like a
taking on the
little.
chin.
Again, they're like Wi-Fi, aren't they? Little Wi-Fi organisms.
Oh, you're getting when they come, you're so fucked.
Mate. I'll be like,
Yeah,
look,
fuck off, you BT hub.
Yeah.
I know your master. I helped create him.
Well, speaking just quickly, I'll just quickly say. He said, Robbie, Bobby. I mean, Bob Lazar.
First, yeah.
Robbo.
Nickname.
Apparently, the ship he was working
Robbo.
on, the ship originated from Zeta Reticuli, which is a star system 30 million light years away.
Yeah, heard
So
that.
they know where they're from.
Could Bob be talking absolute bollocks?
There is a chance.
He could, but so there's a few factors. One, this is a bit loose, but he's never changed his story. 30 years, never changed his story. Two, he knew about S4 before anyone else. Three, which I'm going to get into in a bit, he was talking about from the first interview, Element 115.
Mate, as I say, the element.
You Google Element
Yeah.
115, right? He was talking about this in 1989. Element 115 was discovered in 2014.
Yeah.
He was talking about it 25 years before, and the Element 115.
Did he
is what-
subliminally put it into the person who
I mean-
named?
You could, but it's all it's
Element 114. We're going to call it 115.
Yeah.
But it's
115 has a bit of ring
We're
to it.
going with 115.
Or was there like
cool
was
as
there
that
like
115.
element like I don't know 009? He was like at some point they will get to 115.
they will get to it.
yeah.
They will get.
They will get to it. Yeah.
Let's start talking
Do
about
they go up in numbers? or-
Element 2001.
Yeah. What element are they at the minute? Because I've got a strong feeling about like one that's
119.
5 away from that.
Fuck's sake.
Yeah.
I mean, you got a point. Yeah,
Yeah. He was
You've
good at
just
maths.
completely. Yeah, he's full of shit. I now think he was full of shit. Oh dear. But back to the spacecraft for a second, because this ties in with the Tic Tac. So the spacecraft maneuvers like you are separated from reality, and it is not impeded by the environment. The Tic Tac backs up what Bob was saying perfectly, because Bob literally described the flight of this thing, and then we saw the Tic Tac, and that's why Commander David Fravor, who was the guy that literally followed the fucker around for like an hour, wanted to talk to Bob after witnessing the Tic Tac. Apparently, it's time distortion. So, Looking Glass was a project that existed that was looking into time distortion capabilities of the gravity propulsion. So they had loads of different projects within these ships, and the crazy thing about the whole time distortion thing, and I think because Dan, you've brought up the Tic Tac before, haven't you?
Yeah.
You know the whole the Tic Tac zipped off and stopped within a second 60 miles away, which is where Fravor's end destination was. But apparently at that point, Fravor didn't know that was what his end destination. That was like given to him a little bit. So what they're saying is the time distortion capabilities of this aircraft, because it knew where Fravor was going to be before he went there, does it have the capability to look into the future?
Yeah.
To be, and then if that is the case, how the fuck do you fight something that knows where you're going to be before you're there? It's literally like a live, die, repeat
That's it.
style shit,
time
which
heist.
is fucking absolutely mad. But that's another thing, all the things that he described about the movement and thing is exactly how the Tic Tac works. There was another one which is called the gimbal, because he said basically, although they land like a conventional dish, when they go to fly, they like pick up, and then the belly of the ship is the direction that it goes in. So it's a bit like if a car lifted up, and then wherever the four wheels are pointing on the base is where it goes. And in 2011, I think, the one of the 3 declassified videos, it shows the gimbal and it's flying with its belly first. Again, that's literally how Bob was describing these things moved
Back
in
the day.
1989.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a lot to it. But how did Bob get booted out of S4? Because this is fucking nuts, right? So basically, obviously, the whole project was hush hush. You can't tell anyone. You can't
Yep.
tell your friends. Can't tell your wife. And sometimes his job required him to go in at like 11:30 at night, and she thought he was having an affair. Now, basically, they require you to have your phones tapped, and it's all consensual. But obviously, if you say no, then you can't work there, because they want to keep tabs, make sure you're not telling anyone, make sure you're not informing, like, you know, countries like a spy or anything like that. So they had the phones tapped, and because his wife thought that he was having an affair, she began an affair, and basically they caught on the phone her beginning an affair with a flight instructor, and he had no idea. But one of the things with S4 and these kind of projects is you have to have a stable home life, because obviously they don't want you going off the rails while you're looking at alien technology. But they sort of like kept the distance, and sort of like, you know, because obviously if he doesn't know right now, then is not, you know, a problem. So anyway, he started to get kind of cold feet a little bit. And what he had the test flight schedule for when they flew these things, because apparently they did tests on traffic, and on a Wednesday evening, statistically, that was when the traffic was at the lowest.
Right.
So nearby Area 51. So they used to test fly all the ones that they could fly around the immediate area, and what he did was he started telling all of his friends, he's like, come out to this mountainous region because I need to show you what's going on, so that if anything goes wrong, you know that I'm not full of shit. And apparently this was before Area 51, after Bob like blew the whole thing open. Area 51 did a fucking huge land grab and bought like a massive perimeter. So now you can't even get close. Whereas before you could go up into the mountainous regions and literally look into the base. So he would take his friends up, and for 3 Wednesdays in a row, they saw, like, you know, these lights zipping around and all this sort of stuff. And they did film it, but he said it was in the day of like the giant, oh fuck, I keep it in the fucking alien, the giant recorders and stuff. And it was just kind of like it was nighttime, low light. It was just like a little bead of light in the air. But they all saw it, and that, you know, they all corroborate his, they corroborate his story. And they've done lie detectors and stuff, and it's all come back clear. But apparently they got a bit overzealous, and like apparently the third time they literally had like a camper van and a fucking barbecue and shit, and and they were looking up, and then all of a sudden like these goggles drop on the floor a couple of like maybe 10-15 meters in front of them, and like, what the fuck is that? And then they shine their lights forward, and there's just loads of fucking night vision fucking special ops people there, and they fucking bring him in, and they reprimand Bob. But what they do is they then tell him that your wife's been having an affair, right? So they're telling him off, and they're like, by the way, by the way, your wife's fucking having it away with a local instructor.
A propulsion one.
That's when
Actually flew some of the aircrafts earlier on.
Yeah, and that's when he was released. He was let go, and he was like, they've just let me go. Like, why would they do this? And so he got really fucking paranoid and really scared. So he decided his best way to survive would be to go public, which I think is probably the best thing to do, because it's essentially like, look, I'm going to tell you all this information about the government, and if I fucking die, then you know it's true. So they can't really do anything. And the crazy thing is, you know, he's done lie detector after lie detector. His stories always remained the same. He's been raided several times for fucking no reason, essentially, by the FBI. He apparently, all of his friends, anyone that's like close to him or ex-friends, they'd be audited by the IRS. They'd be, you know, if they had positions of high power with security clearance, the clearance would be fucking voided and shit. So what they were doing, apparently, allegedly, was they were ruining the lives of the people around him because of him, to discredit him, to isolate him, and to essentially, you know, get him to shut the fuck up.
When did he go public?
So he went public not long after he was thinking. He went public on May the 15th, 1989.
Okay, so yeah, so 1989, and the stuff he's talking about, you got, I mean, I haven't even researched it, but I know he got Element 115, which came into existence, and that was the fuel to propel And he
that was literally the element. Yeah.
the element, and he was talking about that, and everyone was saying no. So that came into existence. You've also got the Tic Tac, which uses all the stuff he explained and said
and the gimbal
is here, and this is how.
craft.
And now we've got actual video evidence of that by military.
Yeah, and they've literally come out and said we don't know what that is.
We don't know what it is. It's using the exact stuff that he said,
Literally,
which it's
to
like
the letter.
it's even like I say, even if he was, if you go down the route, I say he's mental and he's just making it all up. Like for him to get just those two things right is outstanding.
Yeah, it's
Like,
insane.
plus all the other stuff.
There was also so basically he kept talking about this hand scan reader thing where it was like quite primitive technology, but they used it in like government secret projects to gain entry. And what it did, apparently every single
You won't get
person
him, would you, mate?
I ain't got small hands. I ain't got small hands. Look at that. The alien's got small hands.
Jordan was using the alien one.
Jordan's like, we're going to need to get a new hand thing on the door so we can get this little fella in.
Do you know what? Just a quick.
There's a Charles one next to it.
Just a quick fucking tangent. I was watching Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Have you seen the episode of The Lawyer where he's in court and he's got the fake hands on? Oh my god, man, that's fucking amazing. But yeah, so this technology, right?
Really Rhino can't handstand.
Okay,
Sorry.
there's actually a picture of me doing a handstand. But no,
Photoshop.
apparently, the bones in your hand are complete. Look, the length of all the bones in your hand are completely unique to you. Also, they thought back then.
Really?
So this hand scanner, it was really primitive. It wasn't fingerprints, but it like shone a light through your hand where it scanned how long or short your bones are. And obviously, I've got short bones in my hands. But no one had heard of this thing.
I've been
No one
mentioned.
had seen it, anything like that. And then the journalist that made the documentary went digging and spoke to this guy who was like an engineer. And he was like, yeah, I've worked with that machine. Like, it was only in the government facilities, and they kept fucking breaking, so they threw him out not long after. And so he was talking about this fucking hand machine for ages. And then years later, this photo is like, there it is. And they always denied it. And also, right, the fucking government removed his records from Caltech and MIT universities he went to, claiming that he'd never gone there, despite earning degrees in physics and electronics, right? He also was a physicist at Los Alamos National Lab, where he experimented with the particle beam accelerator, right? Now, this investigative journalist rang them up, and they were like, no, he never worked here. And they're like, okay, cool. They looked more into it. They found a phone book directory back in the day when you had phone books, and there, boom, 1982, Robert Lazar. So it's like, okay, you're lying then. And they found an article because of his... those jet engine cars he made. The local newspaper was like Los Alamos physicist Bob Lazar.
Yeah.
So he rang them back up and it's like, look, I found 2 solid pieces of evidence that tell me that you are lying that he worked for you. And apparently they lost their shit but still denied it. And it's like, well, you're fucking lying. Like, there's no way around that.
Yeah.
You know, how many fucking Bob Lazars do you know?
That's the thing.
But also, if it wasn't him, they'd say, "Oh, we've got a Bob Lazar, but it wasn't that one."
Yeah. When they start, obviously, like, it's all based on like someone telling the truth, and when they start lying and covering shit up, you're like, well,
why are you
hold
doing
on a
that?
minute, why are you doing that? And then when things that he said come true,
Yeah.
you're like, well, okay, that's now credible.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you're like, well, everything he said, why wouldn't I believe more of that?
Exactly.
And everything they're saying, I'm believing less of it. So it's
If he's full of shit, why would you try and delete his records? Like he said, like, do you honestly think, like, if I'm lying about my university degrees, do you think that a government fucking secret project hired me straight out of high school?
Yeah.
Like, it's just fucking. But yeah, it's just mad. Like,
They should have killed him, and then when people were like, what happened to him? They're just gone, aliens got him.
Just blame it on the aliens.
Yeah.
Every time.
People are like, aliens, but aliens aren't real. Yeah, they are.
Well, they are now. They got Bob.
Yeah, Bob proved it.
That's it.
Bob
He got what he got.
Mickey
Bob
Rourke.
proved they were real.
He got what he wanted.
Yeah, and that means he died. He died a terrible death because of aliens.
Oh dear. He also Bob claimed that one day he arrived at work at S4. He was walking down the corridor to where his ship was, walked past the door. Now, he does say, listen, this was a fucking split second, so I could be wrong. But he said he walked past the door. There's a little like rectangular window, on the top half of the door, and he looked through and he said that he saw two guys in lab coats with clipboards looking down at a small chair, and he said that there was basically an alien in the chair. He was like, if it wasn't an alien, then it was like a toddler, and why the fuck would they have a toddler at a government thingy?
I was going to ask that. Has he ever seen any?
That's all he can say. He's always said is he thinks he might have done. Well, now he says that he doesn't think it was, and he thinks it was a doll, which is a bit weird. But at the time,
the
he
only
thought it
thing
was.
that with him is like, I think I watched him on Rogan, and he was always like, just before they started, he was like, I've got a couple of headaches today.
migraine,
I'm like, well, you're not fucking doing yourself any justice.
No, he's not. Yeah,
But are you covering up for any mistakes that you make? Obviously, I don't know. It feels like he's always told the truth, but now he's like, he can never. He doesn't want to talk too much about it in case he does sort of step on his toes, because you know, stories change and stuff. Maybe he wants to keep the old story as it was.
Yeah.
And he's probably fed up talking about it and whatever. But
I picked up on that as well. But then I thought, fuck, he's getting old. Like my memory, when I look back at stuff, I fucking stuff changes. I forget shit, and I'm like,
but it's not like you've been working on alien spaceships, is it?
Didn't want to say anything.
What did
No,
you do
no, but
in,
like
You wouldn't really like if I saw a fucking, or I thought I saw an alien, I would remember that shit.
yeah.
But imagine it's over a 6-month period, and you're in working on the same ships every day, and then like the whole lot's weird, isn't it? I think it would be, and then you're like, looking, but it's not one specific, and even if it's a specific event that's major, people change it and forget it. But imagine it's over 6 months, and like you're seeing ships, and you're seeing it, and then like, and as soon as because in the past, as soon as you get one thing wrong, people are jumping on him. Oh, that wasn't you said this, and then you're a fucking liar, and it's like, oh, I'm trying to remember, like I was there, I was definitely. He's obviously telling the truth about. Most stuff. Like he's not got a photographic memory.
No, but he's had loads of lie detector tests, whether you can believe them or not. And he's passed them with flying colours. So it's just like,
the only thing that I could possibly nitpick at, when I only watched I think it was like an hour and 45 or hour and a half of the Rogan podcast, and the thing that kind of stood out a little bit to me was the fact that I think he mentioned that they only worked in teams of 2.
Yeah.
To keep like the rumours and like other projects that other people were working on, and they couldn't speak to him obviously. So, and he knew that they were going to tap his phones and basically survey him, but then he would blazingly go out each time when he did the test flights
of his mates,
and not expect them to follow him. That's the only thing that I was like, But then the rest of the stuff that he says, you're like, okay.
I think he was 27 at the time.
Yeah.
And he just said, like, he was just a fucking idiot. Like a brash 27-year-old.
Also, as well, all these people they've got working there, like, if none of this shit's going on, what the fuck are they all doing? Like, literally, okay, so there's no aliens, there's no ships, there's no nothing. Like, what is everybody doing? Like, what are you doing in the day?
Yeah.
Because, like, you've got weird jobs. Like there's a reason that all that place is there.
Definitely. No, and also they literally have. It's been proven that they have UFO projects. So even them people, like if this shit isn't real, and you're employed into a UFO program, what the fuck are they doing?
Imagine it. You're going in, and we have nothing.
Jimmy's, I'm basically we're just panicking about the cameras today, guys, so we're just going to go to another break, and then we're going to come back for a little short while and cap this one off. Thank you, see you shortly, and I'm going to get a new fucking cable. See you. Atmo, we're back, third and final part. How's it going? So do you know what, Jim? To be fair to you, being skeptical, the documentary specifically, towards the end, spoilers of course, takes a fucking massive left turn, right?
Really? Okay.
Out of nowhere. And I don't know if this was done for dramatics. If it was legit, then fucking hell, fair enough. But basically, Bob Lazar leaves Jeremy, the main guy, a message, and it's like he's trying to call him, and it's like, I need to talk to you now, but it needs to be an isolated area. Don't call me. Just send me a message of when you can meet me. Blah blah blah. And it's all very. And then they meet in like the middle of a wooded area, and he's like, there's something I need to tell you, but we can't have any like, you know, devices or anything. So they switch all their phones off, and then they're like, he's like, you know, this audio is going to go onto an encrypted hard drive and all this sort of shit. And then they get chatting, and then for some reason he speeds it all up, so you don't actually hear what he says. But apparently what he says is he confesses to stealing some Element 115 when he left.
Right.
So that's all like, whoa, holy shit. And then the very next day, considering there was no telephones or anything, you know, nothing with Wi-Fi beaming out what they were saying. The next day, his lab, because he still does sciencey stuff, is raided by the FBI. And apparently the FBI, bearing in mind there's no footage of this, there's no footage, but it's like the FBI were quoting our conversation yesterday. How have they done this? Blah, blah, blah. And they came in and they wanted some bullshit receipt for a mineral that I sold this guy, even though it's not dangerous. And they raided the whole lab. And I just know that they were looking for Element 115 because we were talking about it and all this sort of stuff. And it's like, two things went through my mind. It's either they've just made all this up, which has just cheapened the whole thing, or somehow in the middle of a forest with no phones on, the FBI have actually tracked their conversation, and they're still just like fucking with him even 30 years later, which is just...
Or is it
mad.
him proving that it's legit? Is it him at the end of it going, right, to really
sell this?
No, to really like show you that that this is real, and like they do care, the government do care. Because obviously, if he does get raided, if he talks about having the element and then he gets raided, it proves that
they're after it.
Because if they knew that he didn't work there, they'd be like, he's just talking shit. He's just a whistleblower. Whereas if they do actually show up and raid, that's why it would have been interesting to see them show up and him be like, I fucking told you they're after me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if they did raid him, then for me that actually makes it more plausible. Because why? Yeah. If you know someone's lying, it's like if you commit a crime or whatever, and then someone's like talking about it. If you show up and like don't talk about it, it shows that you're guilty. Whereas if you haven't committed a crime and someone's going, he's done that, you just be like, well, I don't need to go because I haven't done anything wrong anyway.
Yeah, so there'll never be any evidence, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, because you know that you haven't, you know deep down that you haven't done anything wrong, so you don't necessarily have to show up.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just, I don't know, it's just because it's out of fucking nowhere as well. And it's just sort of like, you didn't have any like fucking video or anything of this happening. But his colleague, this is the young lad, well, probably about, I don't know, early, mid-20s, he was like, you know, corroborating the story, obviously, and he was like, it hasn't been the first time, and I think they're still just like fucking with him and all this sort of stuff, just to let him know that they're still there. And
maybe he was, like I say, under surveillance, as he probably would be in general, and they seen him go to the woods with this guy, and they're like, fucking something's going on. We don't know what, but let's raid him tomorrow. So like maybe they didn't hear the specific thing about him and the element, and he's been raided, and he's just been, but they've been like, he's up to something. Yeah, we'll go and raid him.
What did it come out on? Was it come out on like Netflix or something?
Yeah, it was on Netflix, and now it's on Discovery Plus.
Yeah, I'm thinking, surely wouldn't the FBI just go and get in contact with Netflix and be like, yeah, don't put this out.
Yeah, don't put that out.
But then again,
Netflix
with that,
won't give a fuck.
But then with Netflix would probably film it and be like, the FBI, like there's probably
a documentary.
Yeah, so maybe because before media was very controlled.
Yeah.
Are we getting to a stage now where there's so much media getting put out on so many
Yeah.
different sort of stuff that they just can't control it. So
Yeah.
This was
Yeah.
my thought process. This is why I asked earlier about what was the date, because obviously he came out in, what did you say,
1989.
1989, where at that time when he's coming out and saying all this stuff, like it was easy then to squash stuff
yeah,
and make him look like he's an idiot and like
it was only 4 channels, wasn't there? Back
yeah,
then?
and it's like like they had control of the news, everything. But now, as time has gone on, all the stuff is saying, well, not all of it, but a lot of it's becoming credible, and it's because information now is like so much harder to conceal. I'm sure if we had the same media constraints as we do back then, we wouldn't even be having this
Yeah,
conversation.
it's hard to
now.
mute
Yeah.
people now, isn't it?
Yeah, mate,
if you've got something
mute
to
the
say.
Tic Tac, like they
Yeah.
couldn't. It was
Yeah.
literally
Epstein, all the conspiracies, guys. Every fucking conspiracy seems to be getting proved like the last
Eventually
Yeah.
it
few
will.
years.
Yeah.
don't
Every
it?
time.
And if
Every
it doesn't,
time.
then it's obviously it
Yeah.
was probably just that, a conspiracy. Like there's so many. I was thinking about this the other day. Get a small tangent off, but like there's cameras now everywhere. Every
Yeah.
couple of houses there's a camera.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
like we have got video evidence, and everyone's got a phone.
Yeah.
There's how many like billion people on the planet, and how many
Yeah.
of them have phones? We've got cameras. Like there's literally now video evidence roaming round that gets uploaded to the internet pretty much straight away
Yeah.
of anything that's like a bit crazy because people want
Yeah.
clicks, and it's like so. Like you can't lie about it. It'll get filmed at some
Yeah.
point.
Yeah. People were laughing at us about the Britney Spears thing, weren't they?
Yep.
Like it
That's
was
real.
there. Even when I was talking about it, because I heard all the stuff, I was like, it's kind of funny. Like that people were going to think that we're proper mental,
Yeah.
and then it was all
Came
all
out as
pretty
real.
pretty
Yeah.
much legit.
So-
So
Yeah. It happens so much.
yeah, it does happen a lot. That's why we're here to
Yeah.
question it all.
Someone check on Sinead's wine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we called
so-
it.
Exactly. Oh, I just want to. I'll end this with the parting words of Bob Lazar. Because Bob Lazar is asked, what would you say to the younger generation? Bearing in mind, from the perspective of you've discovered something and you essentially try to whistleblow it to get the truth out there. He says, just pay attention. The world is a lot different now. The way information is disseminated, the way things are passed around is distorted even faster and more now than it used to be. So they have a rough road ahead trying to cut through all the bullshit. In the late 1980s, the US government had recovered alien spacecraft and the Nevada desert that they were keeping quiet and analysing. That is a fact. He was one of the people working on it. There is another intelligent civilization out there that we know about, and we have objects and artifacts from them, and that, according to Bob, is a fact. So there we go. Just pay attention, guys, because like you were saying there's so much information being put out there, but equally the ability to distort it now is massive, isn't it?
Yeah,
So
100%.
yeah, scary stuff. But that was the Bob Lazar special and a look at Studio 1.5
Loved
as
it.
well.
Loved it.
But yeah, thank you so much, guys. Name the alien. Let us know what you think down below. Go subscribe to the Clips channel. Become a VIP. Download your new Atma ringtone. All that good stuff. Any last words, guys, before we bring it to a close?
Just on the ringtone,
Yeah.
if you're an iPhone user and you're struggling, just type into YouTube how to do it, because I did it, but it takes a minute.
That's it. Not everyone's Android. Android is nice and easy. Settings, bosh, done. iPhone. How many? Are you two iPhone?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Are you Android?
I'm Android.
We're Android and that iPhone.
The iPhone
Nice.
took me. I had to watch a video, and it took me about 4 steps to do it. But again, I might.
But it was worth it.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I had to do it for that guitar thing, but it's a
Yeah.
pain in the ass. But I
We'll
did it.
probably stick it on Spotify as well. Might as well.
Yeah,
May as well. Why
Okay.
not?
Let's get to number 1.
number
Christmas.
one.
That's it.
That's a good
Christmas
Christmas
tune.
2022 Christmas number
Sick
one.
tune. Just- yeah.
There we go. Right from the new studio, guys. I'll be out, man.
Up the Atma.
Prince Andrew is announced.
That's it. That has been proven.
Yeah, there's another one.
Yeah. I said first sentence of season 1.
It's good. It's in the first episode of season
Told
2.
ya.
Loved it.
Bye.